I literally clicked upload on today's video, and then I look down at my phone and boom, I see that Kevin Fiala has been traded to the Los Angeles Kings, so we're back. I guess it's a double upload for today. I'm going to try to keep this one short and sweet, but I definitely have some thoughts on this deal. So the full details, according to Michael Russo, who works for The Athletic and covers the Minnesota Wild, the Minnesota Wild have traded the rights to pending restricted free agent Kevin Fiala to the Los Angeles Kings for their 2022 first-round pick and University of Minnesota captain Brock Faber. The Los Angeles Kings first round pick in this year's draft is 19th overall, and if you don't know who Brock Faber is, he was actually a second round pick, 45th overall by the Kings in the 2020 draft. Like Michael Russo said, he's currently the captain of the University of Minnesota. He's a 6-foot defenseman, had 14 points in 32 games this past season for them. And there's also one other aspect to this deal as well. Kevin Fiala has actually signed an extension with the Los Angeles Kings. Elliot Friedman tweeted, "I believe Fiala extension will come in approximately 7.9 million AAV. Not quite sure how many years just yet, but I'd imagine it's probably like a 7 or 8 year deal, something along the lines of that, given Kevin Fiala's age." So on the surface, I'm just going to come right out and say this. I absolutely love this deal for the Los Angeles Kings. You're giving up a first round pick, sure, but it's not even in the lottery. It's 19th overall. They just made the playoffs, and you're also giving up a prospect, but it's not one of LA's absolute top prospects. They have one of the most loaded prospect pools in the league. The Kings can absolutely afford to give up a guy who they selected in the second round in 2020 when you have a prospect pool that looks like the Kings. I cannot believe they were able to pull this trade off without really having to give up any of their best assets. In this deal, you're getting a 25-year-old winger who just set a career high in points this past season with 85 in 82 games. Again, 25 years old, he fits the timeline of the Los Angeles Kings. He's going to fit right in with that young core that they have. And as far as the extension goes, $7.9 million AAV. The first couple tweets under Elliot Friedman's initial report breaking the news of the extension, it seems like people think that's an overpayment. Me, I definitely do not. I guess people just haven't been watching Kevin Fiala in Minnesota over the past couple of seasons. Let me say this again, this is a 25-year-old winger coming off an 85-point season, and he did that while not playing with Minnesota's other best player, Kirill Kaprizov. Kaprizov played the majority of the year with Zuccarello and Hartman. Fiala is great, capable of driving a line, very speedy. He's going to fit right in with the likes of Iafallo, Kempe, and those guys. I really feel like Kings fans should be super happy about this trade, and if you're a Kings fan that isn't quite happy about it, just give it a minute. Once you see Kevin Fiala play, once he starts putting up those numbers, you're going to change your mind. So now let's look at this deal from the point of view of the Minnesota Wild. Obviously, I really like it for the Kings, but do I think the Minnesota Wild got fleeced? I won't really say that, because when it comes to players that you have to trade, and it's not like Minnesota absolutely had to trade Kevin Fiala, but realistically, with Kaprizov making the money he makes and the buyout penalties for Parise and Suter's contracts kicking in, they would not have been able to afford this kind of extension. So when it comes to players like that in Kevin Fiala's situation, you really don't have any leverage when it comes to making a trade. You really just have to take the best offer possible, and obviously this is the best offer that Bill Guerin feels the Minnesota Wild could have gotten, or at least had up until this point. I'm now kind of interested to see if Bill Guerin is going to flip that 19th overall pick and try to use it in another trade to add a piece, because I still feel like the Minnesota Wild are in a position where they want to win now, but these are the kind of things that have to happen, the tough decisions that you have to make when you decide to buy out contracts, like Zach Parise and like Ryan Suter's, when you have that much dead cap space. So those are my quick thoughts on the deal that sent Kevin Fiala to the Los Angeles Kings. There could still be some other details that trickle out over the next couple of hours, but this is just everything we know up until this point, and these were my initial reactions. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about this trade, so leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section, especially if you're a fan of either the Los Angeles Kings or the Minnesota Wild. I'm going to leave a poll up on the community tab so you guys can go vote and tell me who you think won this trade. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave it a like. That's the best way to show your support, and most importantly, if this was your first time checking out the channel and you want more NHL content like this all off season, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all soon.